Hi, welcome to Tuesday Trash Talk at 10. I apologize for having to start early today, a scheduling conflict. My name is Cheryl Baldwin and I'm with the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and I also run the What's In, What's Out program for the Recycle CT Foundation. I talk about different aspects of trash every Tuesday, and if you have a question about recycling, reuse, composting, etc., by all means put it in the comments section and I'll get to it in the future. So today we're talking about the types of packaging that we get when we do takeout or curbside pickup, which I would imagine we may be doing a bit more of these days due to COVID and the pandemic. So where to begin? I think I'm going to begin with the bags, right? We get bags of stuff now, and the bags, of course, may not be in. Here we have just a typical craft brown paper bag. This is in. It's acceptable in the program, in our mixed recycling program or curbside single stream. This is also a typical bag that we might have delivery or pickup. And this is actually out. And the reason being is because of the handles. The handles are a cord, and we don't want that in our bin because it's a tangler. I know we've talked about tanglers before. They get tangled in the machinery. It's also a safety issue for staff. So I would say put this in the trash, or if you're an Uber recycler, take off the handle. It's pretty easy to pull out. And now this item is in. Other fiber. We're just going to start with paper. We might get delivery without a bag, right? We get a lot of pizza. And of course, pizza boxes are in. If it comes with a liner, whether it be cardboard or paper of some sort, the liner should be removed. That tends to have a lot of the contamination. Here I have a little bit of grease, but not too bad. I did pull out all my cheese and other materials, so that is in. This one's even cleaner. This is in. Yay. Other paper. So if we get these kind of boxes, yes, they're paper. They do come with a metal cord, a little metal handle, and these are out. Even if you remove the metal, it is still out. And the metal is also out. So don't consider deconstructing this and thinking parts of it are in. The whole thing is out. The same with even if it's a nice brown craft paper, no metal, it doesn't matter, this item is out. It has nice little recycling arrows on it in the shape of a heart, which is very sweet. However, it is still out. If you're getting takeout, maybe drinks, right? You might get this. This is actually in. Yahoo! And then we have this. This is out. This is a nice package. Of course, people are promoting and trying to use compostable food service ware or food service packaging. This says that it is made out of plant fiber and it can be composted. However, it is not acceptable in the recycling program. This item is out. Okay. So we've talked about fiber and paper, and we have three things that are out. And paper bags and pizza boxes are in, and then my container for drinks was in. So let's move on to drinks. You might be getting lots of drinks. These all look the same, however they're not. Sadly, it's so confusing. So first off, this is a container that is in, but the straw is of course out. And then this item is also in. Oh, you can see, sorry, I don't know. Somebody gave me their cup. Peter got an iced latte. This cup is also in. However, we have this, again, compostable. It's been certified as compostable. However, it is not a plastic item if it's compostable. So this is where it gets tricky. If it's a compostable cup, it cannot go in the recycling bin. If it's a compostable cup, it cannot go in the recycling bin. If you have access to a commercial composting program where your materials are collected and then brought to a commercial composting facility, by all means, you can actually put this in there. But other than that, the material, this item should go in the trash. Other types of drinks you might get sort of a bottle, or of course an aluminum can. Those materials, of course, are acceptable in the Curbside program or the transfer station program. Other types of takeout. Lots of plastic containers with lots of plastic lids. So I'm sharing with you a change. I think some of you who may have heard from me before, I talk a lot about how in Connecticut we are in communication with all of our MRF operators. The MRFs are the materials recovery facilities. They process all of our recyclables. We created one universal list of what's in and what's out. And that list was created by them because they are processing the materials and they're marketing the materials. And they also are using their staff and their equipment to sort, and we need to make sure that they can have good, clean materials to sell the commodities, but also have safe materials coming in. So we created that list with them, and last year, before the pandemic, we actually reviewed the list with them, and they asked for two things. One, focus on safety. I know this is a little off topic, but you know what? They don't want explosives. They don't want flammable goods. They don't want bowling balls. They don't want dirty diapers, syringes. That's pretty basic. However, sadly, they also asked us to remove black plastic from the list. So when we first created the list, black plastic had its issues. Some of you may know that when they go through the facility, so if you've ever seen videos or pictures of a MRF, they first come in, they go up a series of conveyor belts, and then people actually do some hand sorting, and then it gets thrown off where it's like air is pushed and lasers and optical sorters will sort things, as well as magnets. It's very exciting. The optical sorters are usually used for plastic. And the optical sorters can pick up a number of different colored dyes, including white and blue and green, but they cannot pick up black. However, black plastic seemed like a small issue when we first created the list. We created the list long before the China sword, or the national policy created through China. And the facility operators felt like it was a small amount of materials, and many of them could sort it out. Well, now it's becoming a bit of a challenge, and they've asked us to remove it. So I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I too am trying to relearn and take out the plastic. Even before today, I went through my bin and I found a bit of black plastic in it. But, it's our whole household that we need to retrain. And so it's going to take a while. But I do want to let you know that black plastic containers are now out. So we also sometimes get different kinds of containers, and these are in, as well as the lids are also fine and in. And we might also get aluminum, and they also come with a plastic lid, and these materials are also in. We might also get clear plastic. These are in. But of course, they're only in if we rinse them and they're clean of debris, meaning that there's no food. So we want to make sure that they're clean. I can tell you sometimes it's really challenging to clean, and if it's too challenging, I do throw it out because I will rinse it, but if I really have to scrub it, I can tell you we got some takeout, and okay, now you're learning about my diet. It was mac and cheese, and it was so hard to scrub, it just was not worth keeping. So it just gives you an example that even I will sometimes throw away things. So last few items. Styrofoam. It's also referred to expanded polystyrene because sometimes polystyrene comes like this, but sometimes it comes expanded like foam, like this. And as you know, all styrofoam or expanded polystyrene is out. So it doesn't matter how clean it is, it's all out. One last thing. I'm sure you're like me. I'm getting huge huge quantities of plastic utensils, paper napkins, and even kits that have the salt and pepper. It's hard to remember, but try and remember when you order your food, if you are bringing it home and you don't need the utensils and you don't need the paper napkins, to remind the restaurants that you don't need those materials. It will save them money because they don't have to give away so many, and you don't have to figure out what to do with them when you bring them home. Because I know I personally like to use metal utensils. So just a reminder, please help them to reduce materials as well and not give you things that you don't need. So I think I've covered everything. I hope you've learned something today, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week at Tuesday Trash Talk at 10. Thank you.